Penguin Random House Audio presents Just Don't Be an Asshole, a surprisingly necessary guide to being a good guy. This is the author, Kinney Cartwright. Introduction. Good news! If someone gave you this audio program, you're probably not a total asshole. Yet. Some generous and very smart person thinks you have actual good guy potential and wants to make sure you don't become an official, full-fledged asshole. We don't need any more of those, thank you very much. Maybe it was your parents who want to see you get it together and live a productive life, i.e., get out of their house. Maybe it was a family friend or relative who fondly remembers how sweet you were before puberty turned you into a fiery ball of adolescent rage. Maybe it was just a friend who passed it off as a gag gift but secretly thinks you have boyfriend potential. Whoever it was, that person cares for you and wants to give you a little nudge in the non-asshole direction. Don't be an asshole about it. If you bought this audio program for yourself, I am 100% certain you are not a complete douche canoe. You even get a few good guy bonus points for self-awareness because you've realized that, way deep down, you may, possibly, have some asshole-ish tendencies. For example, have you ever gotten a technical foul in a rec basketball game? Returned the family car with 2 drops of gas in the tank? Made out with someone, then pretended you never met? Dropped an F-bomb in casual conversation, only to realize that non-bro bystanders heard you loud and clear. Hint, if people are gasping at your behavior, this is a clue that what you are doing is not a good thing. Have you thought it would be hilarious to imitate someone of a different race or ethnicity than you? Have you half-assed something important and disappointed yourself? I'm not sure how to break it to you more gently than this. These are not things that good guys do. These are things that assholes do. Now, you may be surrounded by so many assholes that you're not sure what good guy behavior looks like. And it's true that our society sends some pretty confusing messages about how to be a man. But I'm betting that someone in your life has been trying to warn you about your behavior, and you've been, well, clueless. Fortunately, it's not too late to turn things around. Don't surround yourself with jerk weasels. Make your own decisions. Learn how to read the signals people are giving you. In other words, just don't be an asshole. Sure, asshole behavior can be appealing in the moment. It's funny to you and easy for you and requires no thought on your part. But if you've had to stammer through an apology or come up with a pathetic excuse for yourself, or if you've ever been surprised by the unexpected, again, only to you, fallout after an asshole move, it may be starting to dawn on your still developing frontal lobe that living the asshole life isn't all it's cracked up to be. You do not want to end up a permanent, irredeemable asshole. Why not? Simply stated, the good guy generally comes out ahead, and in the long run, it's easier to be good. How easy? Basically, there's one rule. And it isn't exactly rocket surgery. Rule 1. To avoid being an asshole, you need to realize that there are other human beings in the world. It's what everything in this short audio program comes back to. To avoid being an asshole, just remember that people who are not you are also humans. One more time. Other people are, in fact, people. I didn't make this up, in case you were wondering. Old people, let's call them the olds, refer to this as the golden rule. Do unto others blah, blah, blah. Yep, that's the big secret to staying out of asshole territory, not ending up living in your parents' basement forever, and maybe even getting a date. You may think you already know how to do it, but for your own sake, For all our sakes, please listen to this program. Then listen a couple more times. It's short. Why should you listen to me? See Rule 1. I am a person. I'm also a mom of 2 just barely adult young men. We've had our moments, but ultimately my family survived my son's teenage years without burning down the whole neighborhood. Hi, neighborhood. Sorry about all that yelling and door slamming. We're done now. Pretty much. So I know that acting like an asshole doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't even necessarily mean you're an asshole. What it means is that you don't understand how your man-sized presence is affecting other people in the moment and how that is going to affect you in the long run. The goal of this audio program is not only to help you avoid being an asshole. It's also to show you how close you are to stepping it up and becoming an all-around good guy. I'm going to tell you everything I want my own sons to know as they go out into the world. Important things that will change your life, like don't give cheap chocolate, and how to apologize without sounding like a politician. Let's get started now, shall we? Chapter 1. Don't be an asshole at school. School is where you probably spend most of your time, so there's a good chance it's a prime contributor to your asshole behavior. I can understand why. Boring lectures, useless tests, arbitrary rules. Then there's the pressure to succeed, with your parents and your teachers constantly reminding you that your future is at stake. Factor in a bunch of hormonal teens trying to figure out who they are, and you've got something like a social experiment taking place inside something like a prison. At any particular moment, the whole operation is basically one social media post away from turning into a mob. And I'm talking pitchforks and torches, not adorable group choreography. But here's the thing. There's no way around it. You have to do school. You have to show up and do school every day until they hand you a cap and gown. Why? Because every employer is looking for doers, not quitters. If you have any ambition to make any sort of adult life for yourself, you need to graduate. If you graduate, you can get a job. If you get a job, you will have money. If you have money, you can someday move out. Living at home and letting your mom wash your underwear might seem like a good deal now, but at some point you will be faced with the reality that it is not the easiest way to get a date. Think for your dang self. School is boring, and bad things happen when young guys get bored. Somebody gets a terrible idea, a couple other guys think it's hilarious, and then before you know it, the whole gang is off and running toward totally foreseeable trouble and its painfully obvious consequences, ranging from after-school detention to the kind of thing that remains on your permanent record. These guys aren't necessarily assholes. A mob usually includes some combination of assholes and non-assholes, although your ratios may vary. What mobs always lack is a good guy. One single good guy with the superpower of foresight and the bravery to step forward and make an absolutely incredible, inspirational speech that changes hearts and minds, turns the tide, and saves both the mob and its victims from doom. Things to say to turn the tide of assholery. Not a good idea, guys. Let's not. Nah, I'm not into this. I was thinking we'd do some other less assholey thing. Although right now it may feel lonely to be the only person around who can think for your dang self, rest assured that this is a temporary situation. Picture a grown-ass man at work. Let's say he's sitting at a desk in a cubicle and his job is to scroll through spreadsheets all day. I think we can agree this is boring. And yet, very rarely does a grown-ass man pop up over the cubicle wall and whisper to his nearby buddies, "Psst, guys, I hate this place. Let's F it up." It's even more unusual for other grown-ass men to pop up over their own.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?